seems to be talking about why somebody like Steven Gerrard was hanging out with Liam Byrne. Unlike Daniel Kinahan, whose celebrity friends were able to constantly cite the fact that he had no convictions, which was, you couldn't argue with, because no, he didn't have any convictions. And of course, the first time he was named in the High Court as the head of the Kinahan organised crime group during CAB proceedings, that was a welcome sort of piece of factual information that had been put before the courts for journalists, because they were, they were constantly challenging it. Liam Byrne has convictions, and he has lost his home to the Criminal Assets Bureau. I mean, he is very much a known. There is no arguing the fact that he's a criminal. And yet Steven Gerrard, a very famous footballer, chooses to knock around with him. And the two of them, I think, were videoed together. A video that went viral, and they carried on regardless, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think in
kids maybe have brought them together.
The kids maybe have brought them together. Liam Byrne's son Lee and Steven Gerrard's daughter Lily are in a long-term relationship, and that seems to have brought the two families together, and they seem to socialise. Obviously, there's no implication on Steven Gerrard or his daughter or Lee Byrne that they're involved in crime, but it is a strange thing. I mean, Steven Gerrard is, one of the most famous footballers of the 20th century or 21st century. I mean, an absolute superstar, like not a, there is no doubt about it. He's one of the most famous footballers in the UK. And of course he was hanging around with Liam Byrne, at least socialising with him, being willing to be pictured with him, pictured in a video. And of course, Steven Gerrard even came over here and spent time with Liam Byrne's father, Jemmy Jaws Byrne. So it's kind of incredible, I suppose. In a way, like Daniel Kinahan, Liam Byrne seems to have had a second life in the UK, where he associated with people that maybe he wouldn't have got away with associating with over here. Seem to have, linked. Obviously, the Gerrard link is quite stunning, I suppose. But I actually put it up on Twitter, and somebody answered back and said, "Oh yeah, well sure, Frank Sinatra was hanging around with the mafia, and so why shouldn't anybody?" But of course, Frank Sinatra was hanging around with the mafia, and they're still writing about it 60 years later.
And it doesn't say it's right just because Frank Sinatra did it.
No, but the point is, they're still doing stories about it. I mean, like as you said, Liam Byrne is not somebody who, it could be said, he's a man of clean reputation. Absolutely not. And
I mean, these charges that he's facing are, he's not just been dealing a little bit of cannabis.
No,
this is weapon stuff.
I mean, obviously, like, you might say cannabis dealing, where are the victims of that crime? But when it comes to gun running and that sort of weaponry which we're talking about, which you remember is submachine guns as well as handguns, only being the charges from the NCA are saying that they were being sold in batches of 14. They wouldn't sell them any smaller amount. So if you think about it, like Steven Gerrard, a man of beyond, no suggestion of any criminality, but nonetheless, last year a video emerged of him and Liam Byrne. They were obviously out socialising, maybe having a couple of drinks. They'd obviously recorded themselves on this video, which was sent back to a person in Dublin. The video was Steven Gerrard and Liam were talking, and Steven Gerrard sends a message and tells the guy, "Look, if you want to come over here, I'll sort you out with tickets. I'll make sure you're put up and all of this." And it's all very friendly and calm and clean. And I mean, at this stage, Steven Gerrard probably, certainly when the video emerged, he was still a Premier League manager, managing Aston Villa at the time, unsuccessfully. It might be clear to say as well. So, it's a funny when you see these two worlds merge and link, and there's kind of, is there a willful blindness about it?